What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes always deliver the big names. Johnny Eblen joins us on today's program. He's the former Bellator still in existence. He's the Bellator middleweight champion. He's got a fight against the PFL light heavyweight champion, who's, I guess, dropping down to middleweight for this encounter. What's going on, Johnny? How are you?
Good. Just finished up my last hard training session today. Went really well, and just at the tail end of camp, another successful camp. So, no injuries, nothing really bothering me. Feeling good, ready to fight come February 24th, man.
I know King Mo didn't accompany you to Ireland, I believe, and he won't be able to accompany you to this fight. But does he still assist in your camp, or do you have a whole new kind of coaching group?
No, I have the same coaches. Just basically Mo can't travel too much, so I've mostly just been working with Mike Brown and Tiago Alves, and all the coaches there are here to help. So I still talk to Mo. I still talk to Cattell. I talk to Steve Mako. Anderson, Francia. He's a Brazilian striking coach. There's all the coaches there are there to help. Even Conan. I talk to Conan here and there. He's going to be out there, but he's not going to be in my corner. But we're all just a team, and we all want to get the best out of every moment that we can, and we all work together. And it's just it's really a team out there, and American Top Team.
And it's usually an all-star corner with Mo, Brown, Poirier, Alves. Who goes on this one?
I think I'm just going to bring Mike and Pitbull.
Okay.
It's a far flight. Dustin's fighting in Miami soon after my fight, so obviously can't do that. And usually I like to have he usually goes out with Sabah, and me and Sabah usually fight on the same card, but yeah, sadly that's not really working out. So, it really doesn't matter who's in my corner. At the end of the day, it's just me in the fight in the cage. So as long as I have somebody there to, basically give me some cues and be with me during fight week, I'm good, man.
When we first started covering MMA, the cool spots to fight were Tokyo, Japan, because of the history, Las Vegas, because of the history. I mean, at one point up until 2016, everyone kept saying New York as well. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, it's on the map, right? It's taking off. Does that mean something to you because of the way it is taking off, or is it just not really that big of a deal?
Hey, man, I'm just excited to compete and fight, no matter where it's at. Riyadh, New York, Vegas, Japan. I'm really fortunate to be able to be a part of this event that's in Riyadh, and it's really cool. But at the end of the day, I really just enjoy fighting, and I'll pretty much fight anywhere.
Impa won't get mad when he hears this question, but I think we've been picking the brains of all of those involved in this. You take them down, let's say you win. At the end, is it just a respectful handshake, good fight, champ, or whatever? Or is there a little Bellator, bitch, like when you walk away? How does all that feel?
Nah, man, we'll just be respectful. It's, to me, at the end of the day, it's just a fist fight in between two individuals. I don't really think too much about the whole Bellator versus PFL thing. I like what they're trying to do, though. I like how they're making it like a promotional battle. And, I like a lot of the Bellator guys' odds. So it'll be interesting how it plays out. But for me personally, I don't really care that much.
Mm-hmm. You think there'll even be a camaraderie? I don't know if you guys will use the same locker room, but just that final fist bump between the Bellator guys as they go out?
Yeah, but I think that's just general camaraderie between fighters. You guys we all share similar values in a sense, and we all understand what we go through, and we all have a lot of similarities, and I think we just kind of bond over that just in general, despite the promotion.
Mm-hmm. Wrestling obviously is a strength of yours. Do you like being called a wrestler who's developed hands, who's got pressure and endless cardio, and he's got a zero next to under the L column? Like, is that like a proud flag you wear? wrestler who developed everything else, or have you always seen yourself as a mixed martial artist? And I only ask that because you've grown up, you were probably even born before MMA really was a sport. So I think everyone in these last generation just kind of has always been an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do take some pride, being a wrestler turned MMA fighter, and like I'm actually well rounded, and I have, great striking and great footwork, great timing when it comes to striking. So, I guess I take a little bit of pride in that because I didn't start striking until 2016. I don't even know exactly how old I was, but it was pretty late. I started my MMA journey pretty late. It was my post wrestling career, and I stopped wrestling in 2015, and then for a year I didn't really do much. I just moved to Florida and was like kind of partying a lot, and then eventually I got into the gym and then started training a bit, and I started really late. I'd had no formal like boxing or striking training before that, and the fact that I've been able to grow this quickly and get this good so quickly, kind of means a lot. So, yeah, I guess I do carry a little bit of pride in like people saying that I was a wrestler that turned into a mixed martial artist.
Johnny, does Impa remind you of any opponents that you've already faced? Does he have similarities? And are there things that he has in his game that you feel maybe you haven't encountered yet in a fight?
No, I think I've encountered everything that Impa's going to be able to throw at me. He's a durable guy that likes to box and move forward, and he's an athlete. He's well put together, and it's nothing that I haven't ran into before, man. I feel like I've fought tougher opponents. Not to say that I'm, looking down on him. Like I think I'm, just going to walk through this guy. He's a tough fight, and I treat every fight that I get into like it's the best guy I've ever fought. So, I think when I go in there, I'm just gonna make him. I'm gonna make him pay, bro. I'm gonna make him pay for signing on the dotted line, and I'm just a different animal.
Both of you guys like to apply pressure in your game, and this one to me seems like the one where you tell the judges go get a hot dog and a soda. We won't need you. How does this one feel for you? Does it feel like it ain't going to the judges?
Yeah, I could foresee that, or to where it's just so one-sided, like it's no question. Like that's usually how my fights go. Even when the cards are kind of close, I feel like I always tend to outstrike guys because of my wrestling and because of the way I can mix things up and because of my footwork and my distance. So I don't think it's going to go to the judges, but if it does, it's going to be completely one-sided, I think.
Johnny, was there a moment? I know that when you get a belt, so much, it's such a big accomplishment and it tells us so much about a fighter. But a lot of those fighters, before they get to that belt, kind of know they're just destined for that moment. Is there a particular moment in your MMA career leading up to your championship that you felt, this is the moment that I knew I'm the guy that's going to be one of the best middleweights in the world?
Dude, I don't know. It's like an ongoing thing. It's like some days I feel like I'm the best, some days I don't. Nothing's static in life, We go through phases and we go through ups and downs. But, consistency is key at the end of the day. And I think, I am one of the best, if not the best, But I can't say for certain that I'm the best because it's really tough based off, like, the situation at hand, how I'm in Bellator and PFL, and I'm not fighting all the talent that's out there. And, it is what it is. I try not to think too much about it. Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to like getting better every day and just pursuing what the next goal is. And I guess the next goal is, taking out Impa and putting on an impressive performance. And that's kind of where my focus is at right now.
Johnny, when we were covering GSP years ago, obviously one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest ever. But at the time, we probably didn't appreciate him because MMA fans and MMA media can be like that, to be honest. And But then you look back at his resume, incredible what he did. And so we were talking about this earlier. You know, some of your fights do go to a decision, but do you take pleasure in that 25-minute beatdown? Though you may not have gotten the finish, you showed you're clearly better than your opponent. And again, I don't think that's a far-fetched comparison. I mean, you're undefeated, you have the belt, you're acquiring title defenses, and you're widely regarded as possibly the best middleweight in the world.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of people don't give credit to guys that understand how to win fights, you know, and sometimes it's not going to be super exciting for every moment, you know, and there's times in people's careers, or there's times in certain fights where you have to be smart in how you fight, not take damage, and win the fight. So sure, you can be exciting and put yourself at risk, and that can work for you too, but also it's a greater risk for it's a lot of risk for a high reward. But I feel like if you're a smarter fighter and you're a real competitor, you're going to take low risks for high reward. So yeah, I think GSP was probably one of the best guys to, you know, really incorporate that into MMA. And I feel like I'm another guy that's like that. Even though I like to get a little bit of reckless here and there, I think that's where I'm a little bit different than GSP. I like to bang a little bit. I'm a little crazy. I don't know. I remember he would speak on like how he doesn't really like to fight. I fucking like to fight, man. Like, you fucking hit me, I'm gonna get you back. Like, I'm gonna walk your ass down. And that it's like for me, it's like you have to play with that line carefully, because you can't, if you get too reckless, you can get put out. So I still have to make sure, you know, I'm a little reckless, but I try to fight smart.
So the pressure doesn't get to you like it did to GSP?
What do you mean, like the pressure?
I think he used to say that it was a lot of pressure with being a champion and things like that. So yeah, you're right. He did say he didn't like to fight, and you're saying you do. But what about the pressure of being undefeated, being the champ, defending your title, being compared to all-time greats?
I honestly don't even think about that shit.
Okay.
What I just think about getting better every day, keeping my health, you know, trying to make the most out of this life when it comes to like my relationships and what I do on a day-to-day basis, and just trying to become a better person. I think that's more important than all this fucking belt shit and like all the, you know, all the fake hype that really doesn't matter. Like, fighting doesn't, I mean I do this for fun, man, and this is not like, no one's relying on me winning this fucking fight except for myself, like to feed myself and to, you know, and make more money. Other than that, like, if I fucking lose, nothing changes in the world, you know? So I feel like a lot of fighters put a lot of added stress for no reason on something that literally doesn't really matter. And I'm a guy that can kind of see that. I'm like, oh, you know, this is just a competition. It's for entertainment. The results really don't matter. So I don't really put a lot of pressure on myself, man. I just try to become the best fighter that I can, and when fight night comes, I just try to put on really good performances, because that's my job, is to be an entertainer, and that's what I'm here to do.
But you don't think there's even a little bit of the coolness factor that you, on this planet with almost 7 billion people, are the best in the world at something in your weight class? You don't really take any pride or joy in that? I think it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, here and there, but like, really, how impressive is that? The guy can just take a gun and fucking shoot me in the face. You know what I mean? It's like,
well,
that's simplified, you know? But no, obviously I take a little bit of pride, but also like, it's not that impressive relative to like look at Elon Musk. That dude's making fucking rockets and sending them to fucking like reusable rockets. That's impressive, you know? Fucking what like Mark Zuckerberg did to create the social media platforms that we have now, and also like the tech, like the fact that we can do a podcast right now on a phone. I'm driving, and it's like, this is insane to me. This is impressive, you know. Being able to fucking beat the shit out of a human being, that's impressive to an extent. It's just like two different classes, I guess. And for me, I don't know, man. It's just, this is what I found to be fun for me, and I'm glad I can turn it into an occupation.
Will there ever be a 30 for 30 or something like that someday where that parting you talked about for a year or something like that, where that could have went south and we would have never known about Johnny Eblen, the world champion? Like, was it heavy or just a little bit?
I mean, it was pretty. I was lost, man. I wasn't focused on the right things. I was looking for short-term pleasures, and it was a bad time in my life, and it could have went south. I could have not found fighting. I could just be miserable right now, bro. I could be dead or in jail or just a miserable human, you know. And I'm glad that I met Steve Mocco, and I'm glad that he got me into the gym. I'm so thankful that I met Mike Brown, that I've met King Mo, and then not even him. I met Nadia Aguilar through functional patterns, and that really changed my life a lot. There's a lot of people that I met throughout my life post that time period where it really changed me for the better and it helped me become the man I am today.
Very cool. That was going to be my next question, was who kind of helped you, but you said Steve Mocco. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Great
Steve,
stuff, man.
Mike Brown, King Mo, Dan Lambert, Nadia Aguilar, the whole FP community, freaking all my sponsors, you name it, dude. Everybody that believed in me early, that helped me get to the point where I'm at now, you know, like I wouldn't be here without them, and it really means a lot.
Thanks for the time as always, champ. I know you got a busy schedule. You got to fly out soon. We appreciate you. Good luck against Impa Kasanganay on the 24th out in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Folks, you can catch these fights on ESPN Plus. It's a pay-per-view. The card is stacked. You got to get it. See you, Johnny.
See ya.